Now, what we're witnessing now are the dregs of the Montecito barrel finally being scraped in Prince Harry's live stream whingefest yesterday. At 5 p.m. UK time, at the cost of about £17, plus a copy of his book, which he has loads to spare, you too could pay for the privilege to watch Dr. Gabor Mate, which I think that's how you say it, a toxic trauma expert and best-selling author of 4 books published in over 30 languages, sit down with Prince Harry for what was, in my view, an hour-long whingefest. Gabor, also an internationally renowned speaker and highly sought after for his expertise in addiction, trauma, childhood development and the relationship of stress and illness, so I guess he's not cheap, told Prince Harry that after reading the book, I diagnosed you with ADD. He said that he saw it as a normal response to normal stress. He told Harry, I know there were great moments, but there were also a lot of trauma and suffering. And Harry responds with, isn't that the same for most people? Yes, Harry, it is. That's life. It's perfectly normal. But most people aren't royal and can't afford esteemed physicians to help them get through it. Dr. Mate discussed the reaction to Spare and how critics accused Harry of wallowing in his own sense of victimhood. And Harry responds, I don't see myself as a victim. Yet he goes on to claim that his father put his own interests before him, sounds a bit like victim mentality to me, when in truth, if reports are to be believed, Diana was picked so she could provide the royal family with heirs, which meant Charles had to put aside his feelings to the woman he loved, Camilla, so Diana could bear him some sons. Now, as cruel as that might be, Charles sacrificed his love of a woman for the monarchy. Now, it is very tragic what happened to Diana, but that doesn't negate the reality. Charles put his sons and the monarchy first. Harry's too blinded by his own self-pity to see this. Harry goes on about parents not arguing in front of the children, saying, do not have those disagreements, arguments, whatever it is. Luckily, my wife and I don't have those. As if he would tell us if he did. But it's a lot easier when you have a mansion and nannies to avoid arguing in front of the kids. And most couples argue about money, usually the lack of it, which I don't suppose he's had to be too concerned about. The Duke spoke in detail about the death of his mother, again. And whilst I have a lot of sympathy for him on this subject, Harry doesn't have a monopoly on loss of a parent. But most people can't monetise it, which is exactly what I believe is happening here. Harry doesn't have the monopoly on loss of a parent. So he said that his dad didn't give him as much affection as he would have liked. Well, join the club. There's a long queue. At least you still have one. And quite casually goes on about how cocaine didn't do anything for him, how alcohol was more of a social thing, complaining about the peer pressure surrounding it. But marijuana, he says, is different. That actually did really help me, he says. And he explains how he takes mind-altering drugs regularly and that they are part of his life. He's basically an addict and encourages his family to seek therapy as well. He's the perfect advert not to go.